Another week, another 3 races to have a red hot go at. For daily race A, we're at Suzuka Circuit in the A112 Fiat Abarth 1985. Now, I personally love Suzuka. It has a brilliant blend of corners, technical and sweeping, with some outrageous straights in which you can really just cut your teeth into. Without further ado, let's dive into the race. We're starting at a hasty P3 today, and it is a standing start, so we're going to hold our foot down on the brake and get our RPM up. Now, what you'll see here is I actually get the RPM about halfway, and as soon as those lights disappear, we go full throttle and jump into second, which I found has actually given us a really good launch. I've been trialing around with that in other sessions that I didn't record, and I found just that methodology just happens to get me off the line that much quicker. As we can see, right out of the gates, we're in the battle with 1, 2, and myself in third, obviously, and we're hot on the heels of everyone. So it's a decent start. Now, these S-bends here, they're absolutely a lot of fun. What I found is you need to really manage your gears through here. Taps the brakes a little bit. You don't want to go too hard on the brakes. You just want to wash up a bit of that speed really fast and drop a gear so you can carry your momentum through without sacrificing speed at all, and allows you to keep up. And as we can see here, we've jumped up into second place, and we're actually starting to pull away from the car behind us, which is absolutely fantastic. Great result. But can we hold on to where our first place is, and can we get there? First place is taking some absolutely amazing corners. Their cornering skills are right up there. Nice and tidy around there, no oversteer, no slippage, just grip and go, very smooth, and that's what you want to see from that corner because it is a bit of a hairpin. Another one of these long, lovely straights where we can absolutely let fly. And first place is actually starting to get away from us. They've absolutely got this on lockdown. Look at them go! God, I've got to work a whole lot harder if I'm ever going to catch that. That is very impressive. Now, what I found with this corner coming up, the game is actually telling you to do it in fourth, but I've actually found you don't need to. Just let go of the accelerator and just hook that car around the corner and back on the accelerator. You can actually catch that without sacrificing much speed at all, let alone having to brake. But obviously there is some hard braking coming into this corner into the final chicane right here, and you need to drop it in second gear. Now, if you do happen to mess that corner up, or the corner entry up into that chicane, that is going to have an adverse effect on you coming out of that corner at speed. Right, now with this corner, you actually want to stay to the far left, wash a bit of that speed off into fourth gear, and then dive in. You want to follow the camber of the road as it leans towards the right. You want to follow that through. It says to do it in second. I found you can do it in third. There is a bit of braking involved, but you don't actually need to drop all the way down to second. If you catch it at the right time, you can actually maintain third and get around that corner quite nicely. Up through those S-bends where it's a whole lot of 3 to 4, 3 to 4. And again, same with this corner, you really want to get it in third and kind of flow through that corner, because if you overshoot the corner, you're in the sand and it's pretty much game over. The amount of time it's going to take you to crawl out of that sand trap, get back on the track, you've lost all track presence in place. And here you want to go out wide to your right and lean into your left and kind of cut across that apex. And as you kind of leave the apex and see that corner entry marker, that's where you want to start applying your power. We're just hugging the inside curve here to see if we can't try something a little bit different to make up and gain some ground on P1, but he's well and truly away. Now these corners, I found a couple of ways to do it, and what I found, it does require braking, even though it says you shouldn't, or you don't need to brake. I've actually found braking is your friend around that one, because you can drop to third and just wheel around it quite effortlessly, but I've found it's not the fastest way to do it. And again, just no brakes. Sling around the corner. You will get a bit of tire squeal, but you're aiming to hit that rumble strip on the outer left exit of the corner. Down to second, very good. Absolutely swimming through there, lovely. And so we've built up a 2-second gap to the car behind us. I mean, the key to all this is don't put any undue pressure on yourself, right? Hard on the brakes. There we go. See how we're following the camera, going to the inside, then we're going back to the outside again, down into third, and just cruise around that and back on the power, and out we go. So I suppose what you can line it up similarly to is if you're a skateboarder, like carving a bowl or carving a run course, like a snake run course on a skateboard. It's very similar. You kind of follow the peaks of the ramps to get around. So it's the same methodology in a car. So you kind of drive up, let the up incline help you wash off speed, turn in, get that inside, and then that's where you want to lean into it. Or in a car, you want to apply your power. Again, you can get around this corner in second as well. It says drop it down to second, but you can actually do it in third. Out to the right, into the left, cut across that apex, and bang on the power again. There we go. Another absolutely marvelous straight. And then in here, hard on the brakes, you do want to get it down to third, let go of the accelerator as you pass there, put the power back on, then on the brakes again to kind of lean into the left shoulder, and then power out to the right. And then just push it all the way to fifth. Show that accelerator pedal no mercy, just keep your foot on it and just keep going. Then when you get to around the braking zone, let go totally, and just pull it across, back on the power as soon as you pass that apex. Hard on the brakes, into second gear, beautiful. Through that chicane we go, and on the power again. Now admittedly, feeling the camber of the road does take a little bit of getting used to. It might be a little bit harder to achieve on a controller. I've never tried to notice how it feels on a controller, admittedly. I am using a Fanatec wheel and pedal setup, so it's a lot easier to feel. You get that resistance in both hands where you can understand, yep, cool, the car's leaning this way, I kind of want to lean into that. And it makes that whole translation and race experience that much easier to navigate on the actual track itself, where it might be a little bit more difficult on a controller. So I can appreciate for our controller players out there, that might be a little bit harder to understand and translate in game using a controller. And we're on the final lap, and P3's actually catching us. They've made up some ground. Guess I don't call them Quicksilver for nothing. Pull through here, going wide again on the anchors. Oh, it's a bit wide. That's a bit messy. That's going to cost us some time. Absolutely, it has it. P3 got into it under a second of us. Oh, and that's a bit wide as well. Had to put a little bit more brakes on than I normally would have liked to, just to make sure we didn't run off track, because that would have cost us a P2. And we are absolutely going to fly through this corner. Just like we've been doing all race. Absolutely perfect. Oh, that's a bit rubbish. That's a bit rubbish. Look, I mean, see, and then that's what I mean. When you overshoot that corner and get the entry wrong, it's going to mess up the entire chicane for you. And here comes Quicksilver, right hot on her heels. We've just made it over the line to secure that P2, but my goodness, any more mistakes like that, and we absolutely would have thrown that in the bin. But that's how I particularly navigate the Suzuka track. Appreciating it might have been a bit a lonely, boring race watching that one out front. You know, I didn't get any tense towards the end there when I absolutely rubbished that final chicane. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon in the next video. Take care, and I'll see you then.